Batman versus Spider-Man's villains. This one was a YouTube recommendation.
Crisis here. Batman vs. Spider-Man is one of, if not the most popular versus match in comics, which follows as they are
We're on no pauses.
the two biggest selling books on the rack
maybe
every
two
week.
max.
However, not too long ago, there was a big stir regarding the potential survivability of if the Dark Knight detective was to swap rogues with the wall crawler. After seeing a
little backstory though, they did. It was because of the video where we were talking about Batman going into New York and then Spider-Man going to Gotham. So I guess this is gonna be like saying which villains and stuff are gonna be like tougher, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like Spider-Man easily got this, but I could be wrong. I feel like Spider-Man's villains are like better than Batman's villains.
Many memes declaring that the Cape Crusader would be hard-pressed to bring in Uncle Ben's killer, I decided to set the record straight. What would happen if we took the main comic book Batman, none of his nerfed movie interpretations, not even the mild by comparison Arkham version, and pitted him against the 616 Marvel Prime lineup of Spidey's most iconic villains? What would really happen if the mortal who brought the Justice League
Batman versus Sinister Six
multiple times over had to face the Sinister Six and then some? How would this master strategist make use of their psyches? Could he even endure a single strike from Spider-Man's greatest foes? How far could his wealth of plans and equipment...
I think like Batman would be straight in every aspect other than just like straight physicality. He would have to go in with a plan, and I think if he didn't go in with a plan, it would be forced to make him think on his toes, which is something that Spider-Man is very good at. Batman's not good at thinking on his toes. So it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know, bro. I just don't think Batman's like, I don't think Batman's a quit, bro. I just don't think he is. I'm gonna hear him out, though. But I just don't think Batman's a quit.
Really take him. Let's begin to answer the question by working
Batman doing against Tombstone?
The least impressive of the webheads.
I don't know. I really don't know. Especially with no plan?
Starting with Herman Schultz, the Shocker, he wields his signature VibroShock gloves to send concussive blasts, while donning a protective suit more or less required to use said gauntlets. Shocker's notable weaknesses are his dependency on his suit, meaning if it were to ever become damaged, he would be putting himself at too great a risk, lest he be harmed by his own weaponry, and his psychological instability. As shown in
I think Batman got this, right? Can't you just EMP his suit and then it wouldn't work anymore? I'm not 100%. Like literally, all I know about Shocker is what I played in the game.
Of Spider-Man number 3 from 1991, Herman struggles with a severe inferiority complex, which often causes him to lash out aggressively.
Oh yeah, GG's. Batman got more aura than Shocker, so he's just gonna be upset at that. Never mind. GG. Batman got this one.
In an erratic manner, or even become cripplingly gripped with fear. We know for a fact that Batman has multiple detailed files on the power sets and weaknesses of the characters of the DC universe, which have pretty much always gotten the job done whenever they're used. The Dark Knight would be no stranger to vibrational manipulation. Somewhat famously, the hero Vibe uses warp waves to achieve similar results as the Shocker, even being able to vibrate apart holes in reality to travel between dimensions. Vibe was even a part of various Justice League teams, and Batman even stated that he knows 43 ways to defeat Vibe. As is the case with many Spider-Man villains, Schultz is rarely silent or stoic in combat, leaving Batman to deduce his personality and likely his prior mentioned inferiority complex, either by the way he fights, breathes, and so on. From here, he could either employ his own modified version of Fear Gas, as shown in Detective Comics 985 from 2018. Keep in mind that variants of this toxin have
he got too much aura to like be phased by Shocker, bro.
Shazam. Two heavy hitters. If this
that's what I was thinking.
Fight, there's the fact that Daredevil did Shocker in during Daredevil Dark Knights number 4 from 2013. He poked him in the eye, dodged his attack, smashed his gauntlet with his Eskrima, and brought him to the mat. I have a whole video detailing Batman vs. Captain America, someone who has had plenty of contentious hand-to-hand encounters with Daredevil, so it's safe to say that Cape Crusader could achieve a similar victory. Curtis Connors,
Batman's beating Captain
the
America, right?
Lizard, isn't too far off from the nature of Killer Croc, another superhuman reptilian monster which Batman has more than enough experience with. One of the earliest bouts between Lizard and
I feel like it'd be kind of
Webhead
close,
was
but
in
Batman would
Amazing
win.
Spider-Man 45, which saw Spider-Man exploit the reptilian's weakness to cold by trapping
Oh, wait,
him
Batman and Lizard? Yeah, I think Batman got this one too. I do think when we start getting to like the real super shit, like that's when Batman's gonna start struggling a lot more. Like I don't think Batman will beat Venom type shit. And until he gets a plan, obviously, then you know. But even then, like it's still like, bro, he has to account for so many like dynamic sequences that he's just not used to in Gotham. You know what I mean? So if he had prep time, then yeah, sure. But you know,
freezer within a moving train. Batman would, of course, think of this almost immediately, seeing as he was able to deduce that a squad of heroes which had bested the rest of the Justice League of America were actually white Martians simply because one of them refused to go near fire, the species' trademark weakness. Safe to say, he'd realize a big lizard is cold-blooded. From here, he could use any combination of freeze weapon likely derived from or roughly equal to Mr. Freeze's tech, such as liquid nitrogen grenades as seen in Batman Superman 11 from 2014, which would be at least as cold as minus 120 degrees Fahrenheit if his weapons are based on Mr. Freeze's gun.
You can survive in that shit though? Like, nigga, that's almost minus 200 degrees Celsius. Like, bro, what the fuck, bro? That's cold as fuck. Well, we're gonna Connors, but yeah, Batman got it. Type
that
shit.
has managed to beam struggle with Starfire's blast in the New 52, whose powers were described to be unto a nuclear reactor in terms of heat. This could mean Batman's ice weapons could counter up to over 1,700.
Bro, I don't remember that fight, bro. I gotta go back and play the Arkham games again. Should we do a series on Arkham games? I'm low-key down to play like Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and all that shit.
100 degrees Fahrenheit or 950
Asylum
degrees Celsius.
City
That's
Origins
hotter than most lava.
Night?
And the Dark
right?
Knight would be freezing lizard with
I don't know the
tech
order.
cold enough to freeze lava solid. Not to mention that Falcon was able to apparently deal with Lizard in Civil War #3, and Sam Wilson admits that Steve Rogers could punch a hole into it. The same Steve Rogers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when we get to like that echelon, that's where Batman's really gonna start like seeing like real struggle. But right now, yeah, he's fighting like the lower tiers right now. He's working his way up.
Canon JLA Avengers. Maxwell Dillon, Electro, might be the Spider-Man villain with the most wasted potential. Being an electrokinetic, he too would be firmly in the wheelhouse of foes which the Dark Knight has prior assessed. Not only is the likes of Black Lightning among the ranks of the Outsiders team, one which Batman mainly leads, the likes of Livewire is a Superman rogue who has clashed with Bat family members and the Sword on multiple occasions. Despite being able to harm the Man of Steel to various degrees, Stephanie Brown's Batsuit was completely insulated against the lightning-wielding metahuman. Batman would of course have equally insulated against the...
That shouldn't come as much of a shock. I just love how cheesy comic books are, bro. That's funny.
Lightning-wielding metahuman. Batman would of course have equal, if not greater, defenses in his suit compared to Batgirl, which is further shown when a villain wielding the powers of Black Lightning cut loose on Batman in Detective Comics 984. Batman surviving the ordeal, obviously. To put this into perspective, in Livewire's first appearance in Action Comics 835, she was able to pose a real threat to a moderately nerfed Superman, whereas Electro has been soundly defeated by comparably powerful Marvel heavy hitters such as Thor, who can just control and blast away the living lightning bolt. Livewire was also shown capable of draining and containing all of the main power of Cyborg, who needed to resort to his backup solar battery. This was as recent as 2023, years after Cyborg had been upgraded to draw power from throughout the multiverse via his mother box CPU. Powered by tech far beyond human understanding, yet Livewire could absorb the bulk of his energy, and Batman managed to build defenses in his suit against such forces. Electro, like Shocker, is as well of middling intelligence, especially compared to Batman, who is noted as the best tactical mind among a sea of genius-level heroes who in some cases surpass all of the knowledge of the Earth combined. In both Daredevil Season 1 from 2012 as well as Symbiote Spider-Man number 3 from 2019, each respective hero was able to do Electro in just by doing as little as setting off normal everyday sprinklers, with Murdock dodging,
GG, bro.
tagging, and
Electro's cooked.
Dylan.
He's
Given
actually
the
cooked.
battlefield, Batman would surely be capable of exposing Electro to such amounts of water, even ignoring his own liquid-based weapons such as his freeze tech or fire extinguisher grenades, which would work well to douse the rogue and achieve victory. If the ice doesn't just freeze Electro solid, if he attempts to melt out of it, he's basically going to be defeating himself at that point. Mysterio, Master of Illusions, would be about as effective as Scarecrow.
I was just about to say that, bro. Mysterio, like, he's pulling a lot of parallels here, though, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It's like he got the Batman. I just like my brain just turned off, bro. I don't even like. He's pulling up people that are similar to who he would be fighting in Gotham, type shit. Like Scarecrow, Mysterio. Okay, I get it. But like, bro, I feel like we need to start upping the ante now, bro. Like, yes, he got Mysterio, bro. Like, what? Like, who's not beating up Mysterio? Like, you know what I mean? But like, you gotta up that, bro. You gotta up that. You got to. I think we gotta start getting into that superhuman category, like Carnage, bro. Where the Carnage is at? Where the Venoms? Where the Green Goblins? Shit, even give me a Vulture. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me, you know what I'm saying? Give me that Mr. Negative type shit.
Give me that. The Dark Knight. His brand of fear gas was quickly shrugged off by the likes of Ultimate Fury and
no, we're watching that one next stream. So should be tomorrow. We should watch that one. I got a new series. I got a new series that we're gonna be doing for probably the foreseeable future. I don't know how long it's gonna take for us to finish it.
Spider-Man number 5.
We're starting it tomorrow, though. I gotta get the last little pieces
after a
together.
Couple of pages. True, it was able to affect Mr.
Pretty sure the Devil is also a Spidey villain.
ASM number 660.
Oh shit!
However, Beck notes that Richards is weak to such means of attack due to his overly rational mind. By comparison, Batman just believes in and can perform magic. So there you go. Furthermore, the Dark Knight has enough willpower to wield a Green Lantern ring and has fought off and inoculated himself against air and liquid-based forms of fear gas. Remember again that said toxin has worked on Shazam and Swamp Thing, one being the world's mightiest mortal empowered by divine energy, and the other being an embodiment of the latent life force of every plant in the entire multiverse. Even if Mysterio managed to bypass all of that and the filters native to the Batsuit, which can often block scarecrows and other toxins, it was shown in Detective Comics 2011 number 14 that his cowl's sensors can essentially induce low-level seizures in his brain to shock it out of any possible hypnosis, such as that of Poison Ivy's, whose pheromonic control was shown effective against Kryptonians like Superboy. Oh, and even Daredevil did beat Mysterio by just pummeling him and breaking his wrist-mounted control panel in Daredevil Volume 2, Number 7 from 1999.
That's fair.
So, yeah. Rhino is a contender for the toughest contemporary Spider-Man villain, but that doesn't mean he's unbeatable. For starters, a classic Iron Man managed to one-shot him by tossing a silver grate in his face in a flashback in the pages of Invincible Iron Man.
Don't count. Day 5, not going into thick, furry animal grandmas. Okay, let me, really quick. Out of curiosity, like, I'm just feeling very curious today. Let me just... This is your body? This is you. Just making sure. I beat Spider-Man 1 and 2 in a span of 4 days. The second one's longer than the first one, right? Or are they both the same length? The first one took me a little minute. I ain't gonna lie. It was probably like It's like 12 hours, isn't it? But I think you can skip most, if not all, the cutscenes after the first playthrough.
6 from 2022. By that same token, Batman possesses grenades that launched damage. Someone who was stated stronger than anyone a 2018 era Superman had ever faced, and he fought Wonder Woman on top of that. Likewise with bombs used to blow a limb off Shaggy Man, another Justice League level rogue, and even those which destroyed clones of Doomsday, which were pressing the other members of the Trinity just prior. All of these Doomsday, which were pressing the other
like, bro, Superman just got his shit cooked.
Members of the Trinity just prior. All of these would far surpass the force of the Silver Centurion Iron Man, with even current Tony not being in Thor's tier of power as of now, whereas Batman has tech that can affect beings stated to surpass every other fight the Man of Steel had ever endured for the first 79 years of stories, whether you like it or not. Even ignoring that, hate all of that, or that just makes your ears bleed for whatever reason, brute strength is not needed here, as Daredevil was able to redirect Rhino's own momentum and simply force a knife handle into his throat. Victory by chokeout. I don't think this needs to become a Batman versus Daredevil video, however,
Yeah, but so he is low-key using a lot of Daredevil comparisons, but it makes sense though, because like, they're similar in a way, like with the hand-to-hand type shit.
Technically, Batman fought Captain America in JLA Avengers, and Captain America is equal to, if not just as skilled but far stronger than Matt Murdock, the same one who pulled off many of these feats. Funnily enough, for whatever reason, they just give Daredevil dubs against Spider-Man villains. What are you gonna do? Sandman is a versatile shapeshifter and elemental opponent.
I still think Batman got it over Sandman too, bro.
However, he wouldn't be too dissimilar to Clayface, a commonplace Batman enemy. In fact,
Miles Morales is like 4 hours tops, but a lot of the cutscenes you can't skip for some reason. So I think if they actually like gave you the option to skip the cutscenes, I would genuinely try to like get good at speedrunning the game. Because Miles Morales is just a fun game to play, but I want to speedrun it. The fastest I was able to get was like, I think it was like sub 5 hours. But again, most of the cutscenes I had to watch, so it was like kind of ass.
Case with Lizard, both Carlo and Baker, or Flint Marco, I think they change it, whatever.
Yeah, I'd rather them take their time with it. I'm down for a 2028, really. Because if we get Wolverine this year and Venom next year, I'm chilling. Like, I don't really, like, you know what I mean? I feel like one Insomniac game a year is, like, good enough for me.
Have fallen prey to intense cold.
I just hope they don't fully give up on that Spider-Man multiplayer game, though. That shit comp.
Such as within Amazing Spider-Man 154, when Sandman is frozen solid by a device designed to freeze sick bodies for future resurrections. So not even cold enough to just outright destroy normal human beings. Remember how cold Mr. Freeze tech has shown to be?
I ain't gonna lie.
Similarly,
okay, alright, my bad.
Lasers have been cited as a fear and weakness to Sandman.
That man literally got killed by beam with a shovel. Let's be serious.
Caused by too much physical trauma. Random Silver Sable fodder, for instance, were able to just blast him apart until he was a pile on the ground in Spider-Man: The Next Chapter. In Amazing Spider-Man 616, a giant Sandman was beaten by a combination of acid and a giant ventilation fan on some random shoreside facility in New York City. The Dark Knight, again the most brilliant strategist in DC, his first instinct upon seeing this giant mound of sand coming after him is of course going to be breaking down whatever is keeping him intact, which would lead to his use of either acid capsules or batarangs. From here, he could use any of his high-powered explosives to rattle the mutate, breaking him apart as effectively as the vibrations from the giant siren, such as his grenades that launched damage. In Amazing Spider-Man 684, Sandman notes that, while empowered by an entire desert, his usual weaknesses of fire and water won't work this time, which implies that those would be valid means of victory for the Dark Knight if he were to combat a typical Sandman. Spider-Man, however,
you gotta think about it typically though, like you can't really go, you can't go like, oh yeah, he's gonna be fighting fucking like the best Sandman possible, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like your average everyday encounter. Like, it would be the regular Sandman if you were fighting the Sinister Six type shit.
And controlling the rest of them, correlating it to his soul, and tags it with radioactive dye, and then further targets it by hacking this soul grain, projecting images into it to take Sandman out of the fight. Not only would Batman catch on to this far faster than Spider-Man, as he can actually just straight up...
Because I think they're keeping it more like, I don't know, bro. I think they're keeping it more tame. I don't know, because they're comparing it like something closer to like what they got in Batman's universe to Spider-Man's universe. So it's like, obviously, like, Batman would have the edge over people like this, though.
See spirits and souls, such as Deadman or Spectre, ghoulish entities that are, in theory, undetectable to the naked eye. If this truly is Sandman's soul, Batman could low-key just see it. His cowl can also read his foes at a cellular level, much smaller and more profound than grains of sand. So he would detect this and likely think to achieve victory by similar means as Spider-Man here. Dr. Otto Octavius is debatably Spider-Man's greatest enemy, and actually boasts great cunning, similar to Batman in...
I don't know, bro. Like, I mean, yeah, he is, like, for sure. Like, you can't have a Spider-Man story without a Doc Ock, realistically. I feel like he's just as important as Uncle Ben to Spider-Man's story and development and shit. But I'm more of a Green Gobliner, bro. I kind of like Green Goblin more than Doc Ock, though, personally.
Nature.
Like, I just fuck with Green Goblin more. I don't know why.
Captain America,
but I get it, though. I get it.
259 from 1981, the Star-Spangled Man with a plan managed to one-shot Ock with a single shield throw, just to drive this point.
Yo, bro, come on, gang. Like, chill out, bro. Chill, bro. They be glazing the fuck out of Captain America, bro. That shit not happening to, like, you know what I'm saying? That's not happening in this Ock. This Ock right here, bro. He catching that shit. You know what I'm saying?
JLA Avengers #2 has Batman.
Holy shit. What the fuck? God damn. What the hell going on here?
Just to drive this point further, JLA Avengers.
Jesus. That's a crate, like, I didn't see this whole title, like, the whole cover, like, blowing up like this. Holy shit. Everybody just in this bitch going crazy. Who the fuck? Damn. Everybody's in here boxing, like, holy shit. Thor, bro, just get away from him, gang. Like, this, like, you don't want to fight this dude, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Unless y'all got some kryptonite on hand, bro, you do not want to fight him, bro.
#2 has Batman and Captain America concede that a fight between the two would only end after, quote, a very long time. Not only was this more than 20 years after Cap one-shot Ock, wherein the soldier would have improved his fighting abilities since then, but the Caped Crusader also swiftly defeated Taskmaster, someone known to fight near Cap's level, who is armed with an even deadlier version of the same shield that did in Ock within the same event. That being said, Octavius has come a long way since classic Marvel. With Prep and a whole team at his side, he managed to down the likes of Captain America, Thor, and Red Hulk using the Sinister Six
yeah, there we go.
Pawns.
Yeah, that's the Doc Ock we need, bro. We don't need that, bro. The other dude, no.
Daredevil, Iron Fist, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange, and more.
I got dripping ore, that's why? I think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Actually, yeah. What the fuck? For sure. I'm not gonna lie. Like, during the 27 years, is never stated 27 years passed since that comic?
By the Avengers, and then admitting his inability to counter Hyperion. This all while being aided by Peter's body, a frame far more powerful than his usual statistics can offer. So essentially, if it's only his own wits to rely on, and with legitimate superpowers, Otto fails to defend against his world's premier super team, as well as Marvel's Superman. Yes, Hyperion is a direct pastiche of the Man of Tomorrow, sporting similar weaknesses in the form of magic, as well as having his solar powers depleted. This would put Batman inherently above Octavius in the realm of preparation and overall intellect in this field.
I guess, I mean, I feel like this is like probably the closest match we've had so far for Batman. But we do need to get to that Green Goblin fight, though.
Has executed plans against his own universe's premier team, and of course Superman.
I need that Green Goblin analysis.
He has multiple ways of dealing with the JLA and the Man of Steel, whereas Otto is firmly below the likes of the Avengers and Hyperion with Prep. Flat out, and while being stronger than he's ever been. He can clearly amp up other villains and coordinate them to get the job done, but the Dark Knight can often deal with equal odds at a greater disadvantage.
I'm sure all of them probably got more personality than the actual Superman.
And all by himself. This is as well punctuated by the Doctor's fragile ego, noted to be his downfall on his Marvel fact file. His grandiose type of villain speak would signal this loud and clear to Batman, giving ample chance to apply pressure, mock him, call his designs poor, etc. His control would waver, the very thing which his latest arms require a great amount of to be effective at all. The Caped Crusader can make use of his knockout pod, targeting Ock's nervous system and reboot it, as shown against Poison Ivy in Gotham Knights #3 from 2020.
How the fuck Batman just know like instantly like what's in each of them pods on his waist? Like, that fucking belt got everything, bro. Like, his inventory is so deep. How does he know like instantly where everything is in inventory? You know what I mean? Like, I've had to manage an inventory before too. You know? And if I have to look through my inventory, like in Minecraft, for example, like, oh shit, I got something for this. Let me throw all my gold so that way I don't get attacked in the nether. Bro, how am I supposed to know where that shit at, bro? Like, what the fuck?
Otto's arms require impulses from his mind. This weapon affects the brain as EMP affects electronics. He could also use one of his contingencies for Cyborg, the prior mentioned multiverse-level techno-organic hero, which was shown capable of crossing the wires between his mechanical and human components. This would surely take Otto out of the fight. Also, hidden fact here, Batman stores all of these contingencies for all of his friends and enemies on his suit at any given time. So he could actually just bring up any one of these plans and execute them on the spot. Iron Man put it concisely when he said, upon one-shotting Ock in 2022's Devil Reign #6, "A perfect mind like yours, and you never considered inventing armor?" The Dark Knight versus the
Hey, that is a fair... I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a fair question, bro. Like, why did Doc Ock never like make a suit or some shit? Like, he could have dead ass been Iron Man with fucking octopus arms, like, you know?
It's a fight I'd most want to see. Goblin's motives
and psychology
right in at Gotham City, sporting a massive ego as well as a desire to see his enemy cross the line and take his own life. Similar to the dynamic between Batman and the Joker, both in Peter Parker Spider-Man 47 and Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man 303, this is laid out plainly. Think of No Way Home. Early on in Amazing Spider-Man #40, we also learned that even as the Green Goblin, Norman will actually hold back on his sworn enemy. That's just how assured he is of his own ability. He thinks he's above everything and everyone, with this arrogance often...
That's W narcissism. I like that. I ain't gonna like, bro, Goblin's so tough, bro. Like, how do you look at this right here and just not think like, bro, this is like, he's him, bro. He's that guy, bro. I low-key don't like, or I like in the new trilogy, Spider-Man, like that Green Goblin was the last villain that he fought. Because I kind of like whenever they build up to the Green Goblin versus having them just like beat Green Goblin outright the first time. Because it's like, damn, bro, like he really need to, like, you know what I'm saying, learn some shit and just know that like you gotta go even harder to beat Green Goblin type shit. Like, that shit's like I fuck with that, bro. I fuck with that. Because don't they have their own Osborn in, what is it, 616? Like, in the new Spider-Man trilogy? Like, didn't they like allude to the fact that like Oscorp like is like canon in Tom Holland's story? Well, I guess it probably wouldn't matter anyways, because shit's about to get reset anyways.
Being his undoing.
So there might be one eventually.
The Dark Knight ascertain this egomaniacal view
over what? Oh, overrated. Just originated with plot armor. Yeah, but he got aura though, and that counts for a lot.
World, all while Norman shouts his diatribe about lesser and higher beings flying around on his glider, Batman would still boast the insane arsenal.
Like, bro, how does he know what's all inside of this damn belt, bro? This shit gotta be heavy.
described. If you don't think for any reason that any of his Justice League contingency plans, fear gas which can affect gods, freeze tech that can match titanic pyrokinetics, explosives that can harm Superman level beings, and weapons rebooting the mental synapses of nature goddesses are enough to deal with Green Goblin, someone who consistently underestimates his opposition, then I'll explain further. If we're talking about Goblin's tech-based arsenal, Batman has managed to hack New God tech multiple times over. The technology of this planet and its sworn rival, New Genesis, exists so far beyond that of Earth that it's hard to fathom. Multi-dimensional travel, infinite knowledge, and a connection to the source of all creation are each facilitated by the machines hosted in this realm, and Batman can reverse engineer and override it. He as well has means of hacking tech from a distance, so Goblin's bombs, his glider, and the like are all getting shut down, most likely. Batman as well as various ways to punch above his pay grade. He sports both electric and vibration-based gauntlet mode.
I wonder if he's like, he gotta be some like undercover like DC agent or some shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie, why is he glazing Batman so hard? I'm not gonna lie, like, it's just, like, it gets to a point, bro. I'm gonna be honest, it gets to a point. Like, you mean to tell me Batman isn't losing to none of these guys, bro? Like, come on, gang. Like, I don't know, bro. It's like, it's getting a little fishy. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep playing it. It's getting a little fishy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Lord Havoc, essentially DC's Dr. Doom, and his electric gauntlets were seen affecting Apex Lex.
Like, how much is Bruce paying you underneath the table for this shit, bro? Because this shit is crazy. Like, yo, he's on his dick.
Super form of Lex Luthor, who would manage to shrug off or clash with attacks from the Justice League's heaviest.
Like, I get it.
He also
has the question isn't like, is it possible for Batman to beat these people? Because obviously, yes, it's possible, right? Like, the winner of the fucking fight just determines on who's telling the fucking story. Like, that's not the point. The point is Batman beating him under two circumstances. One, does he have prep time, and how much prep time? And two, is he fighting all 6 Sinister Six at the same time? Or, I guess there's a third one. If he's being dropped literally into NYC straight from being in Gotham, like, Gotham, boop, dropping Queens, New York. Like, you know what I mean? But Doc Ock once beat Hulk when he got vibranium tentacles. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it just matters, like, who's writing it. Because you could write anybody to beat anybody. And it kind of just has to make sense because that's the way you wrote it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of just has to make sense. Like, that's why, like SpongeBob can, like, erase a universe just because, like, he erased a universe before or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous shit that just happened, and then you just use that as, like, some sort of, like, power scaling metric. You know? But it's like, I don't know. I feel like he's just not being rational about this shit, bro. Batman shit doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Gauntlets that can absorb.
I'm gonna hear him out though. I'm gonna hear him out.
Energy. It's safe to say that if it came down to hand, what with Batman's mastery of all martial arts far dwarfing that of Spider-Man's or Goblin's, remember that Peter barely used the Way of the Spider fighting style and just as quickly forgot how to use it. Goblin would simply get overpowered. And that's even ignoring the likelihood that he would just see Batman as below him and get caught off guard doing so. Plenty of people have fallen underestimating the man who dresses like a bat. Finally, we have the symbiote father and son. Venom and Carnage represent a catch-22.
Yeah, I seen Trainer Things. Yeah, bro. Lumax forever. Honestly. If anybody thought any other ship was gonna be, you know, the one, they're crazy.
The most powerful
Norman literally
foes
so
so
far. Spidey. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I just don't, like, I don't understand where he's coming from with this shit. He's kind of just saying a bunch of bullshit. But I gotta hear what he says about Venom, though. I'm assuming he saved Venom for last because this is where Batman succumbs to the symbiote.
Detailed.
Right? Like, he has to right?
While also hosting the most well-known and observed weaknesses. Extreme temperatures such as heat and even electricity as well as sound have been shown to frighten, harm, or outright incapacitate symbiotes. In Venom Along Came a Spider #2 from 1996, Ben Reilly managed to send Brock running through a collection of air raid sirens. That makes 2 Spider-Man villains beaten this way. Carnage was nearly bested by Dubstep in Deadpool vs. Carnage #2 from 2014. In Peter Parker Spider-Man #16 from 2000, the webhead makes Venom run in fear from a pile of normal paper set on fire from a normal lighter. Keep in mind too that Cletus Cassidy is actually weaker against fire than Eddie Brock, if that's possible to be believed. Sonic grenades from S.H.I.E.L.D., explosive grenades from Deadpool, fire from a regular furnace, and even electricity from a standard third rail severely injures or outright destroys symbiotes left and right. Batman can recognize superhumans from their body language, speed, body weight, and honestly, just look at these things. He's going to go for his high-tier equipment, with his explosives soon revealing or simply
But it's like, if he doesn't have all of that shit available to him right then and there, assuming he, like he said at the beginning of the video, he's fighting the Sinister Six or whatever, like, I just don't know, bro. I just feel like he's giving Batman a lot of credit. Like, a lot of credit here. Like, because if he's doing all this shit in one night, bro, there's no way he has tools for this person, this person, this person, and this person all in his arsenal all at once without taking any damage.
Executing upon his weaknesses almost immediately. He has a variety of heat-based weapons.
Like, if you only watched this video and you didn't know anything about, like, Spider-Man villains or anything like that, you would deadass just think Batman's walking through fucking New York and he's just him. Like, he's just beating the dog shit out of everybody, like, fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Bro,
just gauntlets and attachments which can combat Mr. Freeze, high-temperature explosives that could damage Metallo, a Superman villain, and a 50,000-volt taser and current all along his suit, which he can activate and fire in every direction, or use a 10,000-volt Batarang. Just for reference, a third rail produces over 1,500 volts, and a normal grenade produces roughly 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit, or a little over 2,000 degrees Celsius. That's nearly twice as much heat produced in the very furnace which nearly took out Venom as recently as 2018. If we're talking about the standard versions of Venom or Carnage, just the generic run-of-the-mill standard variants, no god amps far beyond even Spider-Man strength, Batman has plenty of ways to deal with them. For those with the idea that these two or any of the other villains would...
Okay, like, if it's a 1v1, and you give Batman however much prep time to make sure he got all the shit in his inventory that he needs to fight whatever person, I guess. Sure, whatever. But it's like, we're under the assumption that he has to fight all 6, just like Spider-Man had to. And he has to work on the fly, work fucking, like... Oh, sure, but Batman got killer gadgets. Like, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. Venom is currently in canon strong enough to the $1 century. I just don't. I don't know.
Simply far outspeed Batman, and
he's given a lot of credit to Batman though. Like a lot of too much credit to Batman. That's what I'm like. He's losing me. He's losing me.
Both the likes of 90s era Iron Man and Taskmaster in 2011 were able to keep up with and dodge Venom. Batman beat Taskmaster fairly quickly, like I said, and funnily enough, Fortnite of all things gives us one-to-one scaling from current Marvel and DC. This guy, played by The Rock, has a super suit which impresses the hell out of Tony, only to then get ragdolled, electrocuted, burned, and stabbed into by Batman. These Fortnite comics are actually 100% canon to both the main DC and Marvel universes, so good luck sleeping tonight. This also goes to the fact that the Dark Knight is officially better at applying counters to weaponry, surpassing...
Bro. Okay, no, this video's not serious anymore. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my bad. I didn't even mean to take this shit like he was actually being dead ass, because there's just no way he just brought up Fortnite and like actually like genuinely try to use that shit as like some sort of power scaling metric. That's my bad. I wish he would have just led with that. You know what I mean? Because then we could all enjoy the delusion together. That's my bad.
Some of Marvel's
I didn't know that he wasn't being serious.
Who have often contended with or defeated Spider-Man rogues, sometimes all at once. All in all, we're talking about a character who has dodged lasers, tagged Reverse Flash, and keeps up with Superman and Wonder Woman whenever they all fight besides one another. He's survived re-entry from orbit, city block spanning explosions right in his face, and has even lived to tell the tale of a brush with Darkseid. He has decades of experience cataloging and engineering contingencies against an entire multiverse of varied and god-level powers, all while boasting a strategic mind to rival abstract beings. He simply has developed technology capable of literally overpowering the Justice League over and over and over again.
Nah,
and
facts,
I didn't
bro.
even
Facts.
mention Batman's displays of outsmarting Brainiac, or the Joker, who has tricked fifth-dimensional beings, or his even more esoteric weapons like his Phantom Zone projector, or his ability to use magic. All of this isn't to throw shade at Spider-Man. To be honest, he can actually beat pretty much all of these guys at the same time whenever he just locks in. This also speaks to the differences between Batman and Spider-Man. One of them is an on-paper peak human that has to rely on his brains and equipment to keep.
Yo, you just called this nigga a peak human, bro. Yo, pop it out, gang. Pop it out, bro. Batman got his shit deep in your fucking, like, his shit poking at your heart, gang. Pop that shit out, bro. Oh my god.
These metahumans.
Yo.
Whereas Spider-Man is an intelligent brawler, sure, but he has to make do with his far less immediate resources while leveraging his genius mind with his tried and true super abilities rather than an endless supply of time and technology.
Yo, did he just downplay Spider-Man literally being a superhero to Batman's utility belt? Bro.
He just can't afford to lug around a solution to nearly any threat. Batman can, though. Plus, if all else fails, he just sneaks around until the calls in the Hellbat. GG, back.
Yo, is he saying this? No, there's no way he's saying this shit with a straight face, bro. There's no way he's saying this. Bro, he gotta be laughing in between takes on this vid, bro. There's no way, bro. There is no way he's dead ass.
Top piece.
What? Bro. Nah, bro. You got it, gang. Hey, bro. You got it. You got it, bro. You got it, bro. Still plenty of villains left if you want a part 2. How would Batman deal with Scorpion, Kraven, more like, Batman vs. Kraven admittedly would be an incredibly badass fight. He stops at Paul. I will squash you like a bug. Just shut up and fight. Not being able to catch Aquaman's killer is crazy. Normal basically Bruce Wayne, and Green Goblin is just super soldier Joker. True. Easily dog walk each other's villains. Bro, Batman's not easily dog walking Spider-Man's villains though. Like, that's the thing. Spider-Man, sure, I could give you that. The biggest hurdle Spider-Man would have to overcome would be the mental hurdle that, like, he might not be able to save everybody because Batman's villains are more ruthless and they'll straight up kill somebody. Like, dead ass right in front of Spider-Man. And it's like, he can't save everybody, you know what I mean? But Batman, bro, physically Batman just can't, like, do the shit that he's doing with them, bro. Like, surprising amount of Daredevil W's in this video. Welcome surprise indeed. Just remembering people, peak human in comics basically means you're covered with meta are certainly strong to a point where Hawkeye, for example, can lift in front of a normal car one hand. She didn't trust the rule of clay. Come on, how would Batman do it against Ben's killer? The guy's got a gun that's like Oswald, but for people. Remember to give Spider-Man villain the most devious anti-scaling. Severe lowball on Venom here. I'm not saying Venom wouldn't defeat him. It would not be easy in the league. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would not be easy to beat Venom, bro. Like, he's saying that shit like he's just, oh yeah, he's packing him up in 30 minutes. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, basically, stuff everybody surrounding kind of Darkseid or Justice Buster. I'm pretty sure people underestimate him. Not only does he survive, he clears. I can see him be Green. No, he can't. Like, I'm not saying he can't beat these people, but it's like, bro, it's just like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. He got too, like, that's a lot of like plot armor. Basically, there's a lot of plot armor, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And he literally just showed the final bat suit when he shit it on God Carnage. And like, it's, I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't really like the Batman glaze though. I thought we were gonna be a little bit more objective here, but he clearly had an agenda with this one. I'm gonna be honest. It's not bad, but it's like I feel like he wasn't telling the full story like how it should have been told. You know what I mean? I feel like he was severely underrating Spider-Man and shit like that. Spider-Man's villains, for the most part.